We got a row video here. Be your own biggest hater.
Hello, Internet. You've probably heard people say that you
Okay, this was a short one. This is a short one. I like this. I like this. Getting a little more to the point.
should be your own biggest fan of whatever you're making. And I think that that's true. But I also think that you should be your own biggest hater. And I will explain why. So, if you're doing anything that's worth doing and you're
He's got a point, Huang. Come on. Come on. Be your own biggest hater. Come on, guys.
sharing it with the world, you will get
Stop hating.
people that don't like what you're doing, and they will tell you. If you're putting out stuff that's not good and it's just mid and no one cares about it, no one's going to say anything because no one cares. But if someone is going out of their way to leave a hate comment or say something negative about what you're doing, that means that there's something there that moved them. So maybe it doesn't fully connect with them, and that's okay. You don't have to fully connect
Well, it got a reaction. You could say it got a reaction for sure.
with everybody.
I'm
But
fucking mid, bro.
there is something there
I wish he was paying me, bro.
that was worth them responding. So I think it's important to be your own biggest hater because you sort of set up a filter.
Okay, on one hand, I do kind of understand where he's coming from, but I think you can take this entirely too far too, right? You could kind of like, you could devalue everything you do and say that everything you do is shit, and that you shouldn't release it, you shouldn't put it out there because you're shit, everything you do is shit, and you hate yourself. You know what I mean? You could take it way too far. I think you should be critical of yourself. You should try to be objective. I think that's really the realest thing. You should try to be objective towards yourself. You know, you don't have to be your biggest fan, you don't have to be your biggest hater, but you should try to be objective about the things you do.
Filter system with yourself before it goes out into the world. And, you know, sometimes people leave hate comments just because they want to hate. They're dealing with personal shit within themselves. You know, it has nothing to do with you. But there's a lot of valid criticism that comes with, you know, hate comments sometimes. Like, constructive criticism is a real thing. And it doesn't mean you have to listen to everything that people are saying, but I think it is worth at least considering.
Okay, I think there's definitely something there. Hate comments sometimes may have some truth in it. There may be some truth in it. They may be like amping it up though and taking it way too far. But a lot of times there is some truth in it. Sometimes there's no truth in it though, because they don't know you at all. And they're just trying to, like, they don't even want to waste their time to like figure out how to actually get under your skin. Because if you're actually trying to get under somebody's skin, you will say something that is true to some degree. And then maybe like just turn the amplitude up on it as high as possible.
Because if you fully close yourself off from outside perspective, you're never going to grow because you're never going to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And it's important to challenge yourself in any creative endeavor, or else you're going to get stagnant and you're going to stop enjoying what you're doing. I also think that it's important to be your own biggest hater because, like I said, you're going to get hate comments no matter what. So,
yeah,
sort of,
especially the more popular you get. Like, look at the Yabba Dabba Doo thing. She wouldn't have been getting that unless she was like fairly popular to begin with. After that whole thing happened, I actually saw on Twitter that she reached like 5 billion streams or something like that. Before that shit started happening, she probably had a few billion. Like, it probably got her an extra billion from that alone.
trying to get ahead of it a little bit within yourself, I think can be beneficial. And I don't mean like doing things so that you don't get hate comments. I mean, be okay with what people are going to say before it even happens, if that makes sense. Like, you should be ready for any sort of thing to come back to you if you really stand behind what you're doing. And that shouldn't throw you off of what you're doing. Like, I think it's important for you to enjoy what you do, stand behind the things you create, and then put them out into the world.
Her
And
fans are perverts. I'm sure some of them are. But I think it's kind of weird to associate everybody with that meme. Because I'm not perverted. I don't give a fuck about her. I don't really think she's attractive. I don't really think she's that attractive. But I found those memes funny. Like, I think it's a false correlation that everyone who enjoys that meme is an incel or wanks off to her or whatever the fuck she was saying.
if you're getting hate comments for that, again, that is just inevitable. Like, I've been getting a little more attention on my channel lately, and I've been seeing certain comments that people leave of things that I do that they don't like. You know, like they don't like that I don't use my mic stand. I don't know why. It's really not that
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I really spit when I do this. Hold on. Haktua. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
big of a deal to me. This is how I feel comfortable making videos. They don't like that I wear this hat. You know,
Dude, everybody said shit about that in our chat. They've said shit about the hat and the holding the mic. I think you guys, this is your guys' fault.
but I don't know. This is just what I like to do. This is how I like to make my videos. But that doesn't mean I didn't consider it.
I will say this: the tech deck looks like it has not moved. The tech decks look like you. Are you a fake? Are you a poser, sir? Are you a tech deck poser? I'm starting to think you may be a tech deck poser because those two tech decks looks like they have not moved since you started these videos like a couple months back.
That doesn't mean I didn't like completely ignore it and be like, ugh, why would they say that? Why would they think that? You know, like I don't edit my videos. I just record rants because that's how I like making videos.
Oh my god, bro! I feel like this is. Are you guys commenting this on there, or is he talking about me? Which I'm fine with. But I feel like I have said that.
I've tried editing videos in the past, and sometimes it came out okay, but sometimes it didn't. And you know, like I don't really like editing, so I don't edit because I don't want to.
No, I feel that. I don't really like editing too. I only like editing when I'm editing stuff that's funny and like the editing is contributing to the humor. And I feel like a majority of editing is actually tedious and you don't actually do that like very often.
It's that simple. But there are things that people have said to me that have made me, you know, change what I do a little bit. Like my camera, my webcam is like an AI tracking webcam. I turned it off because I've put out videos in the past where people have said it's very distracting. And I've gotten...
I said that. I said that. I feel like all this stuff is just stuff I said.
More comments about that being distracting and kind of deterring from what I'm doing than people liking it. So I don't really care that much about my webcam doing AI tracking. It's fun to mess around with sometimes, but it's not something that I need to have in my videos in order for them to be up to my standards. So I stopped. I turned it off. I can't talk. I turned off the AI tracking because I want people to like what I do. You know, everybody wants people to like what they do. But if you fully live your life trying to please people, you are never going to enjoy what you do. And people aren't going to enjoy it either because it's really...
That's very true. When you get some sort of criticism or hate comment, I think a good way to look at it is analyze it first. Is this person emotional? Are they just trying to get under your skin? Is there any truth to what they're saying? And does it matter what they're saying? If it's something that could somehow help you, maybe you should take it and see if it's something you can incorporate.
Easy to tell when someone is doing something because they feel like they need to, and when they're doing something because they just want people to like them. It's really easy to see that on the internet, especially now after years and years of consuming social media content. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of like toxic positivity in the world and on the internet. I think that's sort of going away.
No,
I think there is a lot of unnecessary hate on the internet as well. But I'm not the type of person that's going to preach either one of those things. I think that an equal balance is totally fine and is probably the natural way that things go. So be your own biggest hater so that you get more comfortable with outside criticism, and be your own biggest hater so that you can improve what you're doing to your standards and just build yourself up on the internet in that way. So that's all I want to say in this video. Hope you guys enjoy. I put out a new video every Sunday, so if you like this one, you can come back next week for a new one, and I will see you then.
Okay, so I think overall, he's got a pretty good point. I don't really agree with the wording, but I think it's just like the clickbait title for the most part, which is, you know, that's fair on YouTube at this point. Yeah, be your own biggest analyst. You know, you be your own biggest objective critiquer. I think being your own biggest hater is putting it a little too strongly. I don't know if you want to be your own biggest hater, like I said, because at a certain point, like you may get in your own way a lot by doing that. But it's definitely good to try to put yourself in the shoes of somebody objectively critiquing it or objectively enjoying it. Fuck having an ego when you're trying to be a persona on YouTube. True. It's time for Weaver to hate on my finished track now. Pretty soon, guys. All right, let's see what else we got. That will not get a nuke.